Game 3 of the NBA Finals was boring, but we did see Jamal Murray and Nikola Jokic both get triple doubles. Nikola Jokic is the first ever NBA player to record a 30 20 10 triple double, 30 points, 20 rebounds, 10 assists. Not Kareem, not Wilt, not Oscar Robertson, not Tim Duncan. Nikola Jokic is the first one. How about that? So clearly the momentum's on Denver's side, but maybe Miami can survive. So let's talk game 3 of the NBA Finals and a bunch of other fun stuff in between. Bars, Faces, and Hayden are with us today. What's up?
Up.
So much. I think we should let Bars go first so he can at least give us his thoughts on the Miami fan for their one shining moment of game two.
Exactly. That's exactly who I was planning to start with. And Alex is traveling, so we will see him next week. So, yes, let us start with the Heat fan in this. Bars, you've been loyal to your Heat so far. You saw an awesome game two. We missed your thoughts there. But game three at home in front of people like Shakira and DJ Khaled and Dwayne Wade, they were not able to hold it down. So let me ask you, Bars, as the brave soul in this, you think Miami has a chance to tie this series on Friday night?
Yeah, hell yeah. And it's more than just me being a fan. It's just me actually understanding that they're actually playing good basketball. Last night, or was it last night? Game three. Let's look at game three. They missed a lot of shots that they made game two. They missed a lot of those shots that they made in game two and game one. So you know what I'm saying? If Miami can consistently keep hitting their shots and play defense now, the Nuggets played really well. They played like good defense. I'm not even gonna front. They played some solid ass defense. Um, it's just I believe in Miami still. Not even just the fact, not even just like Jimmy Butler or one player in general. I'm looking at them as a whole and like a few like what we lose by like 10, 11 points.
15,
Was it 15?
15. I think it was 104,
It was
109.90.
104. I thought it was 104.93
Yeah,
It was like
The
10
final
points.
score was 109-94.
or
yes,
109.93.
15.
Oh, that was game one then. I guess they lost.
Yeah, game one they
What
came
on
back
nine?
to
Yeah, game one.
All right. So
Yeah, 109, 109, 109.94. Yeah, you're right.
yeah. So yeah. So like 15 points, but like five what? Like look add up those missed threes. You live and die by the three. They shot a lot of threes. They missed a lot of those threes, but at the end of the day, they're playing good basketball. In game two, they stopped Joker from getting a triple double. I still feel that is the key. If they can stop Joker from getting a triple double, they got a big chance of winning the game. Once Joker doesn't have a triple double, like Michael Porter Jr. is still mixing shots. Uh, KCP had a big three. Bruce Brown and Christian Brown were probably like their biggest players in that game. Like as far as like hitting shots when they're like needed and shit. And Aaron Gordon came in pretty big for them too. So if you could limit like Aaron Gordon, put them back into foul trouble, I think that he got a chance to win game four.
pretty sure they've shot better than the Nuggets from three in every single game. I don't remember what it was. I don't particularly remember them shooting a lot of threes in Denver in game three. But game two, they shot a lot of threes. They shot them way better. And they still only won that game by three. Like this game came down to like whose best players were better. And Denver's players kicked Miami's ass. Like they just did. That was the difference. Jokic and Murray outplayed Bam and Jimmy in
Yeah,
literally every
Jimmy missed
facet of the game.
Jimmy missed a lot of those shots. He did. He's
And
been
he was
missing.
cooking at one point.
He
Like
hasn't been on.
okay, so not only did their role players have to step up, and it's not a very hard bar because the Denver role players haven't really been playing great. Michael Porter Jr. has been garbage. Uh, Bruce Brown is okay, but he's relatively limited. Christian Brown apparently cannot shoot. That was like one of the ugliest 3-pointers up there with the Paul George bubble one that I think I've seen in my life. Um, but like the Miami guys aren't doing the difference. Like a lot of the reason, and we talked about this on the last one, that Miami won game 2 was more because Denver fucked up and gave them a bunch of open shots than Miami like hitting things that they didn't expect. Like that's really what it came down to. Because they weren't like and that's not gonna change. Like that was it. Like that's why I gave them that one game. I figured they'd have one game where they would get hot and that was it. But like they don't have the versatile players that Denver has.
Okay.
To
So
do this.
let's go back and look at that game 2. Even in that game 2, Caleb Martin didn't do anything. You know what I'm saying? Max Strus didn't do anything. You know what I'm saying? Like, well, actually, Max Strus did do some stuff. But
Duncan
Caleb
Robinson
Martin
scored 10 points in the fourth quarter.
Yeah.
Taking dudes off a dribble. Caleb Gabe Vincent had like 30 points.
So you got to look at like in game 2, not all the role players stepped up, but a different rotation of the role players stepped up. If Caleb
and they won
Martin
that game by 3, like that's the thing. They won that game by 3, and basically everyone outside of Jokic played like dick. Like
those 10 points from
difference.
Duncan Robinson, those 10 points from Duncan Robinson all came in the fourth quarter. Max Strus only had 14 points. He didn't hit that many threes, but he had some threes. Max Strus was missing threes last night. If Max Strus was hitting threes, it's a different story. Duncan Robinson was missing threes last night. If Duncan Robinson was hitting threes, it'd be a different story. Gabe Vincent was in crazy foul trouble. That helped Denver. Like who's like if you really look at it, Miami swarms the passing lane. That's how they got a lot of the turnovers. Miami was winning the turnover battle yesterday. They might have.
That's a wrinkle that's not going to work again.
It stopped working
it stopped working like the second or third time.
I mean, I'll give my take on this series. I mean, eventually all these role players that Miami have are going to regress back to the mean. They've been playing out of their minds. They have a bunch of undrafted guys. Eventually they're gonna come back and they're gonna come back to really who they really are, which is kind of a bunch of role players. And in this series, you're counting too much on guys like Caleb Martin, Gabe Vincent. I mean, these are good role players, but they're not guys that are gonna win you a ton of games. And they've been incredible. They've been incredible in this playoffs. All right, I'm not gonna sit back and say they haven't. But when you're relying on guys like Duncan Robinson and Gabe Vincent and just all these guys to take threes and kind of keep them in the game versus a team like Denver who has Jokic and Murray, Michael Porter Jr., Aaron Gordon. I mean, just the talent level eventually is going to weigh in during the series. I mean, Miami's had a great run, but I mean, I just really feel that personally they're relying too much on these role players to come off the bench, take a lot of threes, and it's just one day it could be great, but even when they're going shooting 50-60% for threes, I mean, like Bach said, they're only winning by 3 points. I mean, and that's not going to happen every game. There's going to be a game in this series where they're going to shoot only 30% from 3, and if they shoot 30% from 3, they're going to lose the game by 20 points. So
they shot the first game. They shot 30%.
Yeah, they shot 30%, and they lost by about 20 points. So like, I think I'm not going to count Miami out in this series because Miami throughout the playoffs time and time again has gotten their backs against the wall, has been able to hang tight. I just think in this series it's going to be too much. I think Denver's going to win game 4. They'll be up 3-1. There's a chance that Miami may sneak one, but this series isn't going more than 6 games in Denver. I'm sorry. Miami just does not have enough talent to keep up with Denver and Jokic and Murray. They just don't in this series. And
I think that's what
like
you guys
I'm maybe that's a cop out. What you're going to say from what you as a Heat fan, I personally do not believe Miami has enough to win this series. I don't.
It's also this is the thing we've talked about a couple times. So Miami is plus 90 in the fourth quarter, but if you look at the teams they played prior to this, they were all predictable or bad in the fourth quarter. Like their offenses were bad.
Well, Boston was bad in the fourth quarter, yeah.
Huh? They never had to
not a fourth quarter team.
They've never had to contend with a team that actually had a plan and knew how to counter when somebody threw a punch at them. Like Boston collapsed every single time. The only reason they beat Philly is because Philly could collapse harder. Like Milwaukee was shook by that point by the end, and anyone outside of Jalen Brunson in New York couldn't do anything. So like Denver's different. Like they're the margin for error against Denver is so much smaller than any other team that they played. So on nights when they do, like that's a crazy thing. You hit 57% of your threes, you expect to win that game by double digits. They won that game. They were a timeout away from that. If that game had gone to overtime, they weren't going to win that game. Like they were a timeout away from being in a 3-0 hole.
Bro, how can all right? They won by 15 points. How can you expect Christian Brown to give you 15 points every night. Bruce Brown only had like 5 points, but his 5 points, those were big points. They came in good moments, like momentum changing
Because
moments.
that's the thing. Like, you don't
Michael
need
Porter,
Christian.
hold on. Michael Porter Jr. only had 2 points. KCP had 6 points. Like, if you really stop and look at it, the entire team is Jokic and Murray. When you go past Jokic and Murray, you have nothing else. That's what's going to be the downfall
Oh,
of the
no, no,
Nuggets.
no, no.
Wait,
I
wait, hold on.
disagree.
You think
I completely
no, hold on.
disagree with you on
I
that.
definitely, I don't.
Lars,
They have
definitely
you
much
realize
more.
you're making
Denver has
an
much
argument.
more
You're making an
than
argument
that.
for Denver. You're
No,
making the argument
Oh,
for
I
Denver.
completely
Because
disagree with you on that. They have Aaron Gordon. They have don't they
Aaron
call
Gordon
it
had
too?
11 points.
Their bench
He
players
has
are significantly better than Miami.
yeah,
Like they're
the whole argument
it's
you
not
Reggie
even
just made.
close.
Jackson.
It's
Reggie
not even
Jackson
close.
had no points. Thomas Brown
Reggie
had
Jackson
Thomas Brown.
sucks.
Yo, listen. Who's on their bench? Tell
It
me about their
doesn't.
bench. Peyton Weston, Zach Medjin. Like, who's on their bench? I really need to know. Like,
Christian
you
Braun.
guys are
Christian
saying
Braun
that
had
you
15
said
points.
Christian Brown had 15 points. Do you think he's going to snap again for 15 more
It
points
doesn't matter.
next
But like
game?
that's
It does matter. That's the thing
no,
about it.
because
You're
you're
saying
missing the overall
You're saying
argument.
no. You're saying that the Miami role players. You're saying that the Miami role players are going to come back down to earth, right?
They are
They
100%.
they have been on cloud 9 the entire time. But the thing about it is they actually have this playoff experience. See, they have their backs against the wall in the playoffs. When have the Nuggets have had their backs against the wall in the playoffs?
They haven't
been
been,
better
they've been a
than-
better team than every team they played. So it's you can't make that
Exactly.
argument. You can't make that argument.
then-
Who
hold
had
on.
exactly? So who they had to play? They're getting
Wait,
tested
hold
by
on.
8
Hold on.
seed, bro. Come on.
First off,
Stop
every
it.
team they
And this is
played,
the best team that they played.
that's not even true. First off, your argument is everyone
they're
in Denver
better
outside
than-
of wait. Your argument is everyone in Denver outside of Jokic and Murray played like shit, and you're right. Everyone in
KCP
Denver
played 28
did.
minutes, got 6 points. Aaron Gordon had a double-double.
Hey, hold on.
Double-double
Wait,
was 10
let me
and
explain
11.
to you why that's a really bad argument for you.
Michael Porter Jr. had
Everybody but
21.
Jokic and Murray played bad, and you lost by 15. Let's repeat that. Everybody but Jokic and Murray played bad, and you lost by 15. So while one group is going to regress to the mean because the Miami role players are outplaying where they've been for the rest of the year, Denver role players are playing under where they've been, which means they're more likely to go up. And in a game where they underperformed, you lost by 15.
Okay,
Which
we lost by
is
15
not a good sign.
because our role players underperformed, right? Our players
No,
underperformed.
and it's also
But
because
they're
their superstars kicked your superstars' ass.
Yeah, they both had triple doubles. I can see that.
Yeah,
That's
in a
understandable.
game where the role players suck,
What
the
super-
superstars
hold on,
have to
hold on,
step
hold on.
up, and your superstars got walloped.
Hold on. You're talking about a team in Miami which actually has no superstars. Jimmy Butler is an all-star, but he's not no superstar. Come on, don't do that. And Bam Adebayo is not no superstar either. He's also an all-star. You guys know that. In terms of power, like, yeah, the Nuggets got it. But to say that it's superstar versus superstar, nah. It's basically it's basically 2 superstars versus 2 all-stars. 2 all-stars carrying their team.
No. Jimmy Butler's a superstar. I'm not going to sit there and tell you he's an all-star. No. Jimmy Butler's a superstar. That don't play that. Jimmy
I
Butler.
mean, he
100%.
hasn't been as good since he got hurt,
100%.
but he's
In
been
the playoffs.
Jimmy Butler,
In the playoffs,
Jimmy
Jimmy
Butler
Butler's a top 5 player in the league. When in the playoffs.
when in the playoffs. But
and Bam has
when
played
not in,
really
in
well.
the
Bam's
playoffs,
played really
when not
good
in the
too.
playoffs, when not in the playoffs, how is he a superstar? Outside of the
It
playoffs, is
doesn't
he a
matter
superstar?
during the. It
It
doesn't
does matter.
He was,
No,
he was an All NBA
No,
second
no,
team
no,
this
no.
year. Jimmy Butler. Just putting that out there. He was.
Okay.
Jimmy Butler has.
Okay. All right. Where's Jamal Murray this year? All NBA what? Jokic finished second in what? Come on, dude. Listen, I'm not trying to hear any of that shit.
They're
And-
better
and
than
you
like,
guys.
You realize this
So-
is a
so
counter argument, right?
You expect for them to outperform our stars. Yeah, you expect them to score better. But if I don't know, if Gabe Vincent doesn't get into foul trouble in the first half, right? If he doesn't get 2 ticky-tack fouls, if he doesn't get 2 of those ticky-tack fouls, you know damn well he's going off for like what? 23,
No, we don't. Oh,
26.
come on,
That
bro.
kills-
Come on, bro. You
Stop it.
honestly
That
can't.
kills everything.
You honestly
That
cannot
kills
tell me
everything.
that
That
Gabe
kills
Vincent
everything.
is going off. I'm sorry. Gabe Vincent, I like him. He's not a
He's
guy
our
you
starting
can
point
depend
guard.
on. He's
He's our
going
starting
off
point
for
guard. He's not there to
I'm
facilitate
sorry.
the floor.
Bach.
He had 23. He had 23
bail
last
me out
game.
here?
He had 23
Yeah, but
last
how
game.
many you have the game before? Like your whole argument right now is
Alright.
our team is worse, but we're gonna win. That's your whole argument.
Yo, our team has the fight in them. Y'all,
It
what
doesn't
does the
matter.
Nuggets have? What does the Nuggets have? The Nuggets
More
have
talent.
Jokic,
They-
Murray,
more talent.
more talent by what? They have Aaron
By
Gordon, but
every
Aaron
measure.
Gordon
By
By
pretty
Aaron
much
Gordon
every
was-
measure.
was
The
hold on. They
only
got Aaron
position,
Gordon, but was Aaron Gordon
the
was
only
Aaron
position
Gordon
you could
carrying?
argue that the Denver Nuggets have less talent is wherever Jimmy Butler lines up. On every
Yo.
single position, the Nuggets are better. Every
So
single
then
position.
that's what? That's what? Like literally almost the entire starting five. Jimmy Butler's better
Yes.
than like the entire
No.
starting five.
If you line
Like,
them up by
except for
position,
Jokic,
if you line them up on position and you
Jimmy
go
Butler's
by
guarding
player
them
by
all,
player,
and he's making them all feel uncomfortable. Jimmy Butler's scoring on everyone who isn't Aaron Gordon, basically.
okay, congratulations. Aaron Gordon's his primary defender.
That's yeah. And outside of that, like what are you saying? Like there was many switches. Jimmy was
Literally,
scoring on
other
them.
than Jimmy
But
Butler
listen,
being better than
listen.
Aaron Gordon,
Was Aaron
every
Gordon
single player
carrying?
on the
Was
Heat
Aaron
is worse
Gordon?
than.
Hold on.
If you go down the
was Aaron
list
Gordon?
of Heat players after Jimmy Butler, like if you're taking players at the start of this series, the second Heat player is who? Bam, and he's picked what,
Listen,
fifth?
Since you
There's
guys,
no Heat player other than Jimmy Butler who can outplay their matchup. Not a
since you
single
guys,
one.
since you guys are going by, I don't know, supposed talent. KCP got carried to a ring, right? What's Bruce Brown done his entire career? Okay, you show me his point. Michael Porter Jr. has literally been a wash. He literally came in. Yeah, he's a good regular season. He's about to be a small forward, James Harden. I'm not trying to hear nothing from Michael Porter Jr. Like Aaron Gordon, you make it seem like Aaron Gordon was carrying the Magic to the playoffs every
Aaron
fucking
Gordon
year,
is
but he wasn't.
busting their ass.
He's busting their ass defensively, maybe, yes.
And
But
offensively,
outside of
if
what?
they don't put Kevin Love
You
on
gotta
him, they
look-
don't have the size to guard him.
Yeah,
Every time
and-
Aaron Gordon goes in transition, he scores. Every single
And
time.
look at it. Once they started Kevin Love, the game changes a bit. The thing is, it's Miami can slow the game down for Denver, and that's where the game is going to change. The amount of time that Miami
Because
forces
the
Denver,
best player in the
the amount
league
of time,
with
the time that Miami forces Denver to take off the clock is going to be pivotal. Making them put up shots that they don't want to take, making them not get set up, making them short, making them feel uncomfortable. That's how Miami's going to win this game because they're scrappy. They're
They
the
did
underdog.
all that. They did all that, and they lost by 15. They did all of that. They pressed them. They trapped them. They ran into zone at them. They did all of that in game 2. All of that. It's wrinkles. Like this is the same
Who's breaking
thing.
up?
These wrinkles are all going to work in short spurts, and then the Denver's going to figure out because Jokic is a 7 foot 200 whatever the fuck he is, Larry Bird, and he's going to see through everything.
Yeah,
that
the connection shit.
Yeah, you're like gone. No, you're back. And they can throw it to him, and he sees over everybody, and literally at any point they can throw it to him, and he's going to score.
Yeah,
Like-
that's and it's like I believe just let that big man score. And then you can do about it. Let him shoot the ball. Not even let him score. Just let him shoot the ball. Don't give him any shot. But if he wants to shoot, let him shoot. Put a little defense. Put a hand on his face. All right, cool. Force everyone else to make shots. Jamal Murray's gonna get his because it's Jamal fucking Murray. That's nice. Force everyone else to take a shot. I doubt Christian Brown is gonna get 15 points again in another fucking playoff game. I doubt they're gonna let Jamal Murray go off for another fucking triple double. Like,
I mean, they haven't proven they can stop him. He just missed shots in game 2. That's what
he
happened.
got some rebounds. It was Miami let a lot of rebounds go, and
they
they got
don't
to
have
shore
the
that up.
size.
They don't have the size. I will
Every
say that.
argument you have
They
made
need
has
to
come down
start-
to Denver's better. Still, every single argument.
It's not even about talent, man. It's about coaching. Spoelstra's gonna make the adjustments they need to win.
But like,
And
what
it's
is
been
the
shown,
adjustment?
and it's been shown. All right, Miami's come across. If you look at it, better teams than them all year, right? Not all year, all playoffs. Look at the entire run. We played the Bucks, beat the Bucks. We played the Celtics, beat the Celtics. You can say the Celtics collapsed, but they were statistically a better team on paper than Miami, right?
Yeah, but they collapsed because they had a history of being shitty in the fourth quarter. That
All right,
Denver
well,
doesn't have.
Miami
again,
has a history of winning, so let's see what's good.
All right,
So
I
let's see what's
appreciate
good.
the confidence there. And the one thing I will say, like, come on, that like I am on Team Hayden and Faces on this one. It really was a matter of them blowing the game than Miami winning. And
Miami
even
in
if you
7.
had, even if you had Michael
Your
Jordan,
argument was originally Miami in 6.
Miami in 7.
yeah, it's gonna be a
Forget
tough
that.
sell on this one. Like Denver is every aspect you want in an NBA team, and a basketball team in general. And
I'll pivot a little bit. I think personally, although Denver is having a great run so far, it's not personally a historic run, or it's not like a historically great team, because the teams that have played, like, you haven't played a team that's won more than 45 games in the playoffs. Like, you played a Lakers team that won 44 games with LeBron, who's kind of, I mean, he's still an all NBA third team.
With
but,
old
you know,
LeBron.
I will
That's-
say that it's not a like
With a paper
it's a
mache
great
Anthony
run.
Davis.
It's a great
They
run.
beat a
That
they
being
beat a
said, they
Timberwolves
haven't played any like really elite teams, in my opinion, in the
Yeah,
playoffs.
this is not like nobody's going to mistake them for the 2014 Spurs or the KD Warriors.
And there's
this
an
isn't
argument,
one of the greatest
there's
teams
an
of all
argument they
times.
want to go that, like, is Denver going to be like the next dynasty in the West? Which I can't really
Let
say.
them win
I can't
first.
really say that after this playoff series, because they haven't really played anyone that great. I actually think Sacramento is a candidate to be like a team that really is going to be like, that should be like one of the next up and coming teams in the West. But I can't really say one team in specific is going to be that team in the Western Conference, because I do feel like every team in the West kind of has a lot of holes right now.
Okay, hold on. Before this, when Denver wins the title, they are the best team in the league, and they will go into the season next year being the best team in the league until somebody beats them in a 4-game series.
I agree with
Like-
that. I agree.
like-
I can't disagree with you. I'm just saying
Like,
I wouldn't
we didn't expect
definitively
the
put
Warriors
them-
to be a dynasty until they became a dynasty. The things that Denver does well are not going to change at any point. They're just going like
I
their
think as long
improvements
as they
are
have Jokic, they're always going to be in the mix. I personally think when the Western Conference, when there's players like Durant and other elite players, I think they're going to be challenged a little bit more next year. That's what I
I
think.
think they have a couple-year run. I think they have at least a 2-year window. Another 2 years after this, because I don't. Denver, Phoenix.
There's like you I pointed out, there's not too many teams in the West that I'm like, boy, they're like phenomenal. So yeah, I get where you're coming from on that one, but like, for me next year, I think we're gonna have to see Denver really play like more elite
Yeah, it's going to be
competition.
different with the target
Yeah,
on their back,
definitely.
but it's the same.
Definitely.
Like, there's no
Nah.
reason this can't be
What?
something like when Houston won when Jordan retired, where there was no like alpha apex team and they just won a couple titles. There's no reason Denver can't do this and then figure it out in a couple of years. Like,
So when Miami exposes Denver, what you gonna say then? Because that's exactly what I feel is gonna happen.
I'm gonna
And if I'm
say that
wrong-
I'm
and
really
if I'm
sad that
wrong,
Jokic
and
died
if
in
I'm
a
wrong,
car
I'm
crash.
wrong. If I'm wrong, I'm wrong.
Bro, you're smoking a J. You're high the episode. How you know, of course.
Hey, even if I wasn't smoking a J, it'd be the same thing, dog.
Legit, if I took your audio,
Hey.
Bart, if I took your audio and I superimposed it over me, you would think they would be my arguments for why Denver is winning. Like, your arguments
Right.
have always come down to Denver is just better, but they're going to try hard. This
Hey,
is
listen,
not like a. This is
I
not
believe
a
Miami-
Disney movie.
Like you said, Denver's got better talent. I think Miami's got better coaching. That's all it is.
I
Yeah, but
will
I don't
say-
think it's gonna make enough difference.
I will say, if Miami pulls this off, that is going to be the greatest post podcast ever. And let's
Yeah, it
just
will.
see where it
Yeah,
goes
well,
from there.
let's hope for the greatest post podcast ever. That's what we're gonna do. Let's hope for that. Let's hope for the greatest
Okay, well, the
show
rest
in
of us
all
are gonna
post
live in
podcasts.
reality.
'cause
and
you
we're gonna
know-
celebrate a
Because
Nuggets
you
victory.
know, nah, fuck that. Because you know I'm gonna show up with my best Uncle Shannon impersonation. You know what I'm saying? I'm gonna show up with fucking goat hat, the goat mask on, with a Superman cape. I'm gonna do it all. I'm gonna be like, I told y'all what it was. South Beach is alive. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, I'm gonna do it all. It's gonna be the craziest post show ever. So let's knock on for that post show. That's what I want to see. Miami is 6, Miami is 7 too. I don't give a damn. I'm going with
Miami,
Miami.
how can you win? How can you win at 6 and 7? That doesn't.
We might
Why
as
don't we
well say
switch gears
Miami
for a
at
little bit?
8. Like, we're at it with Miami at 8.
Let's switch gears for a little bit, and then we'll revisit this really quickly at the end when we make Game 4 predictions. In other news, Chris Paul was waived by the Phoenix Suns. Not a surprising move.
Wait, so was he though? Like,
Well, okay, fine. So yes, they are in a technically. I know they're still looking for a trade partner possibly, but regardless, Chris Paul's time in Phoenix is definitely coming to an end. That's one thing we can all agree on. So the next
Chris
step
Paul's
for
time
Chris
in the
Paul
NBA needs to
is
come
why is that?
Chris Paul time in the NBA need to come to an end because it's over. He's not. Man, it's done for Chris Paul.
Is
Look
he
at
a
him.
loser?
No, he's not. He's
A
gonna
loser.
try.
He ain't
He's
a. I
gonna
mean,
try
he
to
ain't
get
a
a title.
winner. He ain't a champion. I
He's
mean,
not
he's
a
a
winner,
winner.
dude.
He ain't
Come
a
on, dude.
champion.
Chris Paul,
He's
I
a winner.
understand
He
he
ain't
doesn't
a
have a
champion,
championship,
though.
but Chris Paul is
He's
a
one of
great
the best
ambassador of the game. He's one of the best point guards of all time. I want to say he's an Olympic gold
Yo,
medal. He was on one of those
listen.
teams. I'm pretty sure.
I think he won
He's
one.
got to get his championship.
Listen, and who's he gonna? When's he gonna get it? When he's 32? When he's like what? 45? Like, because I'm trying to figure it out. Like,
Hey, Steve Nash didn't
like
get one till he worked for the Suns or till the
exactly.
Golden State.
So look,
I
so
think
look.
him and LeBron could be an interesting combo. You put him with
Yeah,
LeBron
there's only like
and
two
Anthony
places
Davis.
he's going that he's going to win the title. Like,
And then what? So you got the oldest pairing in the league sitting there together, getting old. It's gonna be like a scene out of
He
Uncle
still
Drew.
had, he had the
Like,
most
what are
assists
we
in the
doing?
league.
Like,
You think
like,
he's like washed. You think he's like washed, whatever. He led the league in assists last year. Like
I don't think he's washed. I don't think he's washed.
no,
I
he's
think
washed.
I think he's
I don't think he's
done.
washed. No, I don't
I
think
think
he's
he's
washed.
done. I think
Wait.
he's done. Like, come on. Chris Paul went from Chris Paul from the Hornets, that we know him the best, to
No,
Chris
he's
Paul on the what?
he's still a
The
very
Rockets?
productive player. I completely
No,
disagree with
Clippers.
you guys.
Then the Rockets? Nah, come on. Nah. And then from that era, where like Chris Paul like
The
brought
guy's
his
still
stock up
averaging
on the
13 and
Thunder.
9. Like the guy's averaging 9 assists a game, and that's so like I don't necessarily
the
agree with
Suns
him. Now.
relevant.
He led
Like,
the league
the
in
man-
assists last year. Like
Nah,
he's still
the
a very
man-
good player.
So where
I'm
are
trying
realistic
to
spots for
recall.
Chris Paul? Where do we
Okay.
see him?
I mean,
He
I
could
could
still
see him.
do it.
I could see him in
Backing up
Denver.
LaMelo Ball.
I could see him in Denver. I mean, I could not Denver. I could see him in. I could see him in LA, the Lakers. That's where
I can see him in. I can see him in New York.
No,
They already have a,
we
they
don't
already have
need
a
him.
point
We already
guard,
have
though, with Brunson.
I was
Yeah.
talking about Brooklyn.
Brooklyn's not going to sign him.
the Brooklyn
what-
I was
Nets.
talking about Brooklyn. I was talking about Brooklyn.
No,
The
so
Clippers, the Celtics
so-
could use him. Celtics could definitely use him.
he doesn't want to go.
He could
Or
he
Dame
could
doesn't
definitely
wanna go.
he could definitely go back and be back up for whoever's the starting point guard of the Pelicans.
No.
Unite.
So apparently,
Uh,
if they waive him, they can still re-sign him to a lower deal, which
Utah
I don't
did-
know. So like he could come back to Phoenix at a lower number, which would help them get some other players.
What about honestly, you guys? Miami could a point guard. Miami could use a point guard.
Utah Jazz. We're done. We're done.
He's
with
not
old
going
point
to a
guard.
rebuilding team. He's not going to a rebuilding.
Yeah,
team.
he's
not
going like if
he's
he
going to a
wants
place
to
where
win,
he can
he's
win
going.
a championship now.
He's either going to LA or
oh.
Milwaukee.
Milwaukee, yeah. He
Oh.
wants to. He
Oh,
wants
I'll
him
go
where
to
they're gonna
Milwaukee if I was him.
where he can win a championship right now and at the later end of his career. That's where he's going.
Yeah, it's Milwaukee
I go to
or
Mil-
LA. Realistically,
He's not
Anywhere
going to.
else is
He's
a
not going to
township.
a rebuilding team.
But are you going to go to a
He's
team where
not
you're going to
going to, like,
start, or are you going
going
to
to
go to a team
Philly
where you
would
come
be a
off the
mistake.
bench? That's the question.
What? Where?
Are you going to go to a team that you're going to start, or are you going to go to a team you're going to come off the bench?
He's going to start. Where is he not going to start? If he's going to Milwaukee, he's better than both of the point. Like they can use him in either Milwaukee or LA as a point guard. So just put Grayson Allen's bum ass to the bench, or D'Lo's not coming back.
D'Lo not coming back.
He's going
Chris
to one of
Paul's-
those two teams, or he's staying in Phoenix for a lower number.
At this point in Chris Paul's career, I'd be like, you know what? I'm coming off the bench, like, and powering the
It's probably
second
better
team.
for his body for him to come off the bench, but
Exactly, that's what I'm saying. Like,
he's not
so
going to do it.
I'd go to a place where they're championship ready, but they just need somebody to run their second unit, like the Kings.
Who's that? He's not going to back up De'Aaron Fox. Get the fuck out of here.
Let's just
They're not
name every
championship
team of
ready.
this.
If you're gonna say like the only place he's gonna back up a point guard is like Golden State.
Now, why would you say that? Because
That's
He's not
the only
going to be a
guard-
backup.
Actually, depending on how long Ja gets suspended for, Memphis is an interesting spot.
That's
I
also
did hear that.
see. Now I
That-
wasn't
I
even
heard that
thinking
too.
about that. That was.
But
I
they're
wasn't
not gonna.
thinking
They're
about
not
that.
title contenders. Like if
I would-
he wants to win a title,
What What about him and Harden together? Because they did have a pretty good combo.
Absolutely not.
No, they had a pretty good
Yeah.
combo. No, with
He's not
Houston.
going back to Houston.
With Houston, they had a pretty. I mean, I'm not saying he's going back to Houston, but like if
He's not going back to Houston. James
they had a
Harden's
pretty
going
good run with him and D'Antoni and Harden. They did. They were pretty good.
What about Toronto?
Toronto's not a title contender.
They're not a title contender right now. But are they a piece away from being a title contender? Like
No.
mm,
They're not a Chris Paul piece away from being a title contender.
Chris Paul, Pascal Siakam. I don't know. I can see it going to the top.
Yeah, we're just naming teams at this point. But
Yeah,
No,
we
it
are.
seems so
we
like
really definitely are. We definitely are.
no. There's like 4 realistic spots if he wants to win a title.
Probably the Lakers is one of them. The Clippers is one of them. The Bucks,
Yeah.
and I would say the Heat. I would say
I would
the
not
Heat.
go.
The weed is
I
kicking
would
in.
not go to the Clippers. You cannot
I want to
rely
go to
on. You cannot rely on Kawhi to show up for 2 straight months.
Yeah,
just-
but if you
it's
got Kawhi, Paul George, and Chris Paul,
Yeah, and if you're I can't say if the sky turned to fire because that happened the last 2 days, but like it's Kawhi hasn't played 2 straight months in playoff basketball in 5 years. Like, it's not going to happen at this point.
I mean that's expected of Kawhi Leonard, man. But yeah,
It's like if he's going to win a title, there's 4 teams. 4 teams. He resigns with Phoenix at a lower number. He goes to Milwaukee. He goes to LA, or he goes and he backs up Steph Curry in Golden State.
last thing on Chris Paul, you saw that he came out on a podcast and said that his daughter is getting comments towards him, for lack of a better word, being harassed about her father not winning a title, despite him having hundreds of millions of dollars. Do you think there's any obviously it's true, but do you think that is a motivator for him at all to truly finally win a championship? Does he care that much in that sense, or, need a podcasting thing to talk about?
It's a podcasting thing to talk about. Like, first off, he's going to try to win a championship anyway because he's a competitor. Secondly, like, how is his daughter's response not, yeah, but my dad can still bust your dad's ass in like a wheelchair? Like, unless he's talking to like, unless Bronny is bullying Chris Paul's kid, like, there's 12 people on the planet whose kids who could say my dad's better than yours. Like,
yeah, and
like,
he's made over $300 million,
yeah,
$365 million.
Like,
so kids are cool no matter where you are.
It's just fucking ridiculous. Like, could you imagine? It's like arguing to some like so I'm trying to think of somebody who's not a professional player, or somebody who's like a good person.
no, it's like win some, you lose some. Dog.
It's like trying to make fun of like Robert Oppenheimer's kid because I don't know, something to do with because he didn't build the nuclear bomb fast enough or something. It's like like
an Oppenheimer reference. I can't wait for that movie to come out.
Or making fun of like Leonardo DiCaprio's kid because he didn't win enough Oscars. Like, there's like,
why didn't your daddy win 2 more Oscars? Like,
it's like, first off, who is your daddy? Like, nobody.
How many
ain't nobody know who these kids' dads are. But like, Chris Paul is like what, a top 10 all-time point guard.
Yeah, and it's an extremely elitist school they're going
5.
to.
He's not top. He's top 5.
Hated
pretty
it.
much on the
Hated
One of the
this stuff
greatest point guards
happen
of
at
all
the
time.
school you work at?
Yes.
Listen,
I have
let
the
me say
famous
this.
I have the famous LeBron versus Jordan argument, which I still believe LeBron is better, but so that caused a lot of chaos.
Wait, did you ask him if kids bully other kids?
No. I asked if elitist kids are making fun of other elitist kids.
Oh,
I don't
yeah,
know if
100%.
do you work at a private school?
I work at
I
work at a private school. Yeah.
Oh, there you go. See,
Yeah.
then maybe that is the case there.
All kids are going to make fun of other elitist kids. They're children. That's literally what they do. They don't know any better.
Listen,
they're people without filters.
listen.
They're set for life, right?
The fact that that's the hardest thing she got to worry about right now. He should be
literally.
Right. You know what I'm saying? Like,
when you put it that way.
I think everybody in this situation gonna be okay. I mean, like if Charles Barkley had kids, I'm pretty sure they'd be wondering the same question or be saying the same thing too on podcasts. Like, I mean, all this does is allow Chris Paul to join a very, very big non-exclusive club. of dads who get to talk to their kids about shit like this. Like that's all it really is. Like you know what I'm saying. But power to him for expressing his feelings though.
I guess so. So I want to talk about a player who got in trouble on Twitter this week. Zion Williamson, guys.
100%.
On Monday, he announces he is having a baby with, I guess, his girlfriend, I think. And then a porn star named Mariah Mills comes out and just absolutely destroys him. Let me read you some of the tweets exposing him in every sense of the word. Okay, I will be very vocal here,
do we
but
need-
here are just some of these.
Do we need to read the tweet? Because I.
Oh yeah, just a couple like what she says. I
a
let
little
you
Yeah,
vulgar.
come
spit.
on.
I let you spit in my mouth last week when
Yeah,
we
let's get it.
fucked. You could have told me you had another whore pregnant. How is that gonna work? Moving us both to New Orleans. You think I wouldn't have found out? At Zion, I motivated you to get back into shape. I let you fuck me all kinds of ways
All right,
and film
let's.
me
Do
on
we
your
have?
phone.
Do we have to? Do we have
Okay,
to?
so
You
you know what we get
impregnate
out
a
of this?
low
Don't
budget
stop.
porn
Get
star.
it. Get it. Don't stop.
right,
DNA
Get it.
tests
Get
are
it.
done.
Oh, this is the best smut
You
I've
put
heard in
my
a long
life in
time.
danger fucking these people raw. Anyways, so you get the gist. Zion
Yes,
Williamson
yes.
is clearly
Scumbag. He's doing it dirty.
freaking the sheets, getting
Wait, hold on, but
videotaping
like
and everything.
on a really absurd note, I guess he didn't do enough to get into shape because he just never was in shape.
Like Stephen A said, I know why you haven't been able to. I've been waiting for you to play. I see why you're busy, guys.
But like,
you're saying?
can I make another point? Like
Yeah.
the Twitter that
He's trying
I'm
to get his
on,
Magic Johnson
you guys
on.
are like very different platforms. I do not see the shit at all. Like anytime
really?
you come up, yeah, dude, my Twitter's all politics. It's all just like the most mind-numbing, ridiculous shit in politics at all times. Like, and then occasionally I'll get like a Spurs tweet. Like,
Okay, so you did not see the porn star, and I guess another.
no, until you guys
with
brought
him.
it up. That's why I asked what happened. Like, I did not see
that's
that.
funny. But yeah, you could
Like-
see. Long story short, Zion's
Oh, no, I
side chick
understand
is
what
making
happened.
fun of.
Like,
Yeah.
so
Long
this
story
is just
short, and
nonsense.
then she was like a strip, or was she like for adult?
She is a
film
porn
star?
star.
OnlyFans.
Or she's a
He's
porn
an
star.
OnlyFans. The OnlyFans schmutty.
Yeah, he's clearly getting involved with the right type of people, Zion. So that's nice to know.
Oh no.
Well, yeah,
Guys,
he's
that
he's
Duke education
22.
really served him well.
He's like 22.
He's a
gonna
young
make
boy, man. He's a young cat.
like
He's gonna get
$200
his
million
noodle wet.
in like 6 weeks. Like
Facts.
he doesn't know no better. And it's also like
Facts.
he's not the first NBA player.
It's not
to
that he
have
didn't know any
multiple-
better. It's that he couldn't
Yeah,
control his
man.
wing.
They all get all caught up with the hoes. You know what I'm saying?
They get caught. Yeah, it's just it's unfortunate that his career is like never going to take off because he's just so.
Oh
fat.
yeah. He need to fuck some more if that's the case, or do something. He need to
Like
get
it's
a change
just
workout
not.
regimen.
It's just not like.
They just don't look
And
good.
it's too
fact that
bad
he's not
because when the
playing.
guy plays, the guy's averaging 25 a game,
Yeah,
which is like
27
He's
is
guy's
really
awesome.
good
Like-
when he plays.
But the fact
But
that
he
he's
just
not
can't
playing and
play.
he's getting into Twitter scandals, that shows a lot. It's saying too much. Like, at least play. At least be busting ass. Like Stephen A said, the minute you get back on the court, all the shit gonna go away. You know what I'm saying? Like, it should go fade away.
It'll be a joke, like Karl Malone's multiple children, or the fact that Dwight Howard has
Oh.
like 10 kids with like 9 people. Like nobody cares.
He's got a kid in every stop he's been.
But do we see Zion? Do we just see in all seriousness, we know Zion's problems with injuries, his weight problems, and clearly his off the court promiscuity. Like, do we ever see Zion? Do you see him being the type of person to snap out of it and prove why he was a number 1 overall pick? Or we just
Maybe.
see him
Maybe.
going
for like a
farther
month.
and farther down the hill?
For like a
Maybe.
month, yeah, he's gonna get hurt again.
Oh damn, that's not
Honestly, it may just never work out in New Orleans.
Mhm.
Like honestly, if
That's
I'm them,
exactly-
I think it's kind of time to pull the cord.
Right.
Like
You know what?
he can't stay healthy. Like it's
Yeah.
we're what, year 4 now?
Yeah.
Send him to Portland.
2019 he got
Portland.
drafted.
He's played what? Has he played a full season?
No, let me see how many. I think he's played what? Let me see career
He
games
played
for
like 20
Zion.
games his first year, then he missed all of 2 years ago.
Send
And
him
then
to
he played-
Portland.
Like
Let me read you just quickly go. Let me just quickly read his games played right here, according to Basketball Reference, year by year. So after he gets drafted in 2019, he's only played
114 games, I think.
I don't think it's that many. I think he played 26 his first year. Then he missed all of the season last year.
Yeah, he played 24 games his first season, 61 in 21-22. Didn't play last year, and then he played only 29 now. So he's only, as Bars is right, only 114 career games in 4 years.
Like this is not. It's not like a Joel Embiid thing where Joel Embiid didn't play for 2 years because he was, he had foot surgery and shit. Like he's just fat, and he has like it, and it's like that's what's causing. Like that's like it's stress problems because he's out of shape. And
He needs a better physical trainer and a better fitness.
Yeah,
camp
I don't.
around him.
I think at this point it's too much damaged goods for New Orleans, and it's not like they don't have a jillion picks. They could just like if you flip Zion to like fucking the Hornets, you're gonna get a bunch of picks. If you flip him
That's
to
a
like
good. That's a solid. You might just be trying to build a championship team over there.
no, they're not gonna win. He's not gonna play there. Michael Jordan's gonna yell at him one time, and he's gonna eat all the. I don't know what do people eat in New Orleans?
Michael
Crawfish?
might be the one.
Gumbo.
Michael might be the one. Michael might be the one to get his ass in shape. Keep playing with him. See, like, all right, certain people
No,
need to
he's
go
gonna
to
yell at
certain
him one
places.
time. He's gonna wobble out of the gym and go eat all the crawfish down the road.
Matter of fact,
Jambalaya.
Yep. Send him to Miami. Pat Riley be the one to whip his ass into shape. Let's get it.
Yeah, but you're gonna have to spend. You're gonna have to trade like Tyler Hero for him.
I'll trade Bam and 3 other people, and we can get him.
That's insane. Zion Williams is
You
never
wanna put-
playing a full season. Zion
I
Williamson.
bet you he plays him.
Look,
I bet
Zion
you he
Williams,
plays.
like
I
Anthony
bet you he
Davis,
plays
is
in
a
Miami.
walking ambulance.
Ain't nothing to eat. Ain't nothing to eat in Florida. I bet you he play in Miami.
the thing with Bam now, or the thing with Zion is, Zion may be a number 1 overall pick who never makes an All NBA team. Like even if he's healthy and like starts playing healthy, he may never hit that 65 game mark in a season.
Damn, he might Greg Oden it.
No, not because of injuries. Like if he doesn't hit the 65 game mark, he can't make the award. He can't qualify for the awards. So he just may never qualify for like. I guess it doesn't count for All-Star games and shit because they do that before that match. But like he's probably never going to be an MVP. He may never make an all NBA team. Like even if he does get healthy, like I don't know if there's a world where Zion Williamson could play more than 65 games in a season.
If he's fit, not playing with no bullshit, not playing with these hoes, not messing around, not trying to get his Magic Johnson on, I think Zion Williams, when he can average 27 points a game, because he did that in the second year.
Yeah, but even then he only played what 66 games.
Yeah, but if he can stay on the court, all right, you're right. So if he plays 82 games, he's probably going to average 28 points and be a possible MVP candidate. If not an MVP candidate.
I think he's more likely to miss a shot than he is to play a basketball.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's offensive. That's a meat his ass.
Listen, actions speak louder than words. If Zion wants to get his stuff together, he will next season, no matter what, and he'll make this story be forgotten easily and without any fanfare. And he has to just step up when they start again at the end of October.
So who else is in that draft class? Like
we have RJ Barrett.
I don't even remember. Like
2019 NBA draft class. Well, we obviously know John Morant at number 3. So far,
look how that's going.
He's been fine. We know
off
John
the court
Morant
or on
and
the
Zion.
court.
He's been fine on the court, and I think he has a serious girlfriend from the nice Canadian he is. And he did play well in the playoffs. You wish he did better, especially towards the end, but he has shown his potential. But we have DeAndre Hunter from the Lakers. He's a bust. I don't even think he's in the league anymore.
No, he's
on the Hawks. Yeah, you're right.
Yeah,
Darius Garland has been an all-star.
Okay, so Darius Garland's probably the best player at this point, right?
Yeah, we have Jared Culver, Colby White, Jackson Hayes, Cam Reddish, major bust. Well, we have Tyler Hero and PJ Washington.
Shea is the best player in the draft class. Shea is the best player in the draft class.
And we also have Grant Williams, who's been doing well for Boston.
Yeah, decent.
But
Bowl,
like he did.
bowl.
I mean, he's doing fine. But like, it's Shea's the best player in that class right now. Like, it's
Yeah,
not RJ.
Shea's
Like
good,
RJ's the biggest
actually.
name, but Shea's the best player. And Michael
Who the
Porter
fuck
Jr. is
is
not
Romeo Langford?
Romeo Langford's in San Antonio.
Mm,
I don't think they're going to resign him.
mm.
Right. So
Matisse
2019
Thybulle.
draft
That's a
class.
name I haven't heard in a long time.
2019 NBA draft class. Maybe not as star-studded as we thought it was, for lack of a better
Brandon
word.
Clark, Jordan Poole.
Well, the later end of the class has a lot of potential. Like Tyler Hero's
Yeah.
been to 2 finals. Michael Porter Jr. is
Jor-
about to win a ring. Shea's
Poole won a
amazing.
ring.
Huh?
Jordan Poole won a ring.
Oh, Jordan Poole's in that. Yeah, Jordan Poole. Like the end of it was just a little weird at the top and in the middle.
Definitely, guys. Definitely. So let us make our final predictions for game 4. Denver opens at -3.5. I think it's pretty obvious that Denver's going to handle Miami handedly. And they're going to go back to Denver on Monday night and clinch the NBA Finals. Ultimately, that's where I see this going. And we'll react to that on Tuesday night.
Yeah,
I believe.
Yeah, the game 4
I bel-
predictions.
Real quick, I'm gonna just change my original plan. I said Heat in 6. I'm gonna go Heat in 7. You know, just to make it a little bit more exciting.
You think they're gonna win in Denver in Game 7? That's
Let's
your
go.
argument. They're gonna win in Denver in Game 7.
Bars, let
Yeah.
me ask, when do you think for game 4, who do you think is going to win?
I think Miami's gonna take game 4. I don't think they're gonna lose both games at home. I think they're gonna take one of those games, and then they're gonna go back to Denver with a little bit of juice. I feel like if they lose this game and their backs against the wall, it'd be 50-50, but I feel like if they win this, it'd be more of a chance for them to go into Denver and like really take that game. Yeah, they only won by 3, but they won by 3 in Denver. So I'll take that. A win is a win. So if they could pull one more off at home, one more off, if they could pull one off at home, one more in Denver, so they can take it back to Miami, let's do it. And then, hey, let's see what happens in Miami.
All right, Faces game 4 prediction.
Right, Denver wins. They're gonna close this out. The next game, Denver. They're just better. Bars made a very compelling argument that Denver is better.
I have Denver winning this game 109-102.
You cannot be guessing numbers. That's just asinine. to
Right
say.
on
Right.
the over.
But I have
over
Denver.
under.
I have Denver winning this game.
It's 211.5. So that'd be hit that under. You'd be a genius for that one. All right, guys. I appreciate the time. I'll talk to you on Tuesday night, and we will be back talking about all things NBA Finals to the world this Wednesday. Thanks again, gentlemen.
Thank you.